Hi, I'm Sean Dixon with naturalhitting.com again. Today's lesson is I would like to share a little bit about natural movement and natural hitting. I'm not going to tell you everything about natural movement and natural hitting today, but I want to give you some thoughts to think about and some common sense. At naturalhitting.com, we teach how to use your torso. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, really, that means nothing to you yet. But if you'll listen closely, you will understand using and working your torso a lot better and a lot clearer. And we're going to see how using our torso in a very natural way. And that all of us have natural movement built inside of us. Now, first of all, I'd like to begin with that I have been studying hitting for over 25 years. The first 15 years of my study has been involved in mechanics. In other people's mechanics, what other people teach, what other coaches show, what other major league players and coaches think about hitting. I have been studying their mechanics for over 15 years. I've also come up with some of my own mechanics. But mechanics to them and to me during them 15 years were working the legs and the arms. That's what mechanics was to me and to them. Now, after 15 years, I found that any mechanic I ever tried might have made some of the players a little better, but it never created a great hitter. And that's what we're all looking for, is to become great hitters. So I stopped looking at mechanics and started studying the human body. How is the human body made? How is it made to create movement? Where does movement come from in the human body, and is movement of the human body in a natural way or a man-made way? Let me give you some free tips here of some information that I found in studying the human body. In understanding movement, first of all, you need to understand that movement of the body is talking about moving your whole body, legs, arms, torso, everything, moving your body from one place to another. If it's walking from the door to the kitchen, it's about moving from one place to the other. It's about moving your whole body. Hitting is the same way. I have a stance. I may shift back. I have my body back. Now I'm going to move my entire body to another place. So I'm going to move my body from here to here. That is movement, and that is what human movement does, moving from place to place. Now I went back and studied the babies. I said, okay, how does a baby perform movement? First of all, when you are first born, you're 1 day, 2 days old, can a baby actually walk? The answer is no. Well, if a horse or a cow has a calf, tell me, can they walk when they're 1 or 2 days old? The answer is yes. That's right. A four-legged animal, when they are first born, they automatically can walk. They may not walk good, but they can walk. A human being cannot do that. A human being has to walk on 2 legs. And it takes a sophisticated muscular system to hold a human being upright and to create walking. But most of us take that for granted because it is such a natural thing to do. So this is what happens in the baby. After he's 3 or 4 months and he's getting to where he can now start crawling in the floor. Can you picture a baby crawling from one place to another place, from one toy to the other toy? When they are crawling, they are actually doing one thing. They are strengthening the muscles in their torso. Let me show you how I know this. After they've crawled for several months and they get to where they can crawl really fast, they can get to where they can sit up in the floor and sit straight up without anybody holding them. Well, at that point, their torso is really strong. The muscles in this whole torso area is really strong to be able to hold their torso in an erect position. Now they start learning to stand up. They'll go over and grab hold of the couch, pull themselves up. Now they're standing, right? They're not walking yet, they're just standing. Well, if you'll watch, most babies will sit there and they'll be kind of wobbly. That's why they're hanging on to something to keep their balance. What is wobbly, and why are they causing this wobbling movement here? The reason is their legs are not strong. They also do not have coordination with the legs to the torso. They also don't have balance of their torso over top of the legs. So they're learning balance, they're learning coordination, and they're also strengthening the leg muscles. After a certain period of time that they work on standing up and they're hanging on to something, they may hang on to something and start walking. Well, when they do that, they are getting ready to start taking their first steps. And now all of a sudden they get a little stronger, they get a little more balance and coordination of their legs to their torso, and now they can let go and start walking. Well, when a baby first starts walking, you may have seen, and I'm going to try to show you a clip here of a baby walking from one parent to the other, and you'll see him almost falling down right there at the end. And you'll see him falling down face forward. Well, that's the way kids learn to walk. They learn to walk because they are thinking, moving from one place to another. They're thinking, I'm here and I want to go over there to Daddy. So when they go over there, what do you think is moving first? The answer is their torso is moving first. Why is that? Because the torso is the strongest part of their body. Their torso is the first thing that they learn to get muscularly strong for movement. Their torso is the first thing that created movement and created crawling. That's right. So their torso moves first. That's why we see babies, when they first start learning to walk, they may walk a few steps and then fall down. They're falling down this way because their torso is going to a place. Their legs have not learned how to keep up with the torso. Their legs have not learned the coordination of the torso and what the torso is asking the legs to do. This is all being learned. Well, let me sum it all up to say this, that the torso is the biggest part of the body. The torso creates movement first. The torso may only move a half of an inch or 1 inch first, and then we start seeing legs and arms move, but the torso goes first. And the torso is about moving our body from one place to another place. Now, at naturalhitting.com, that is exactly what we teach. Now, how do I know this works? Because it is involving the entire body. Because when I use and work the torso in a natural way, the same way that a baby does, I can create movement that is using and working 100% of my body. Now, at naturalhitting.com, we teach you how to think and get natural movement back, to get that same natural movement back that you had when you was a baby. That's right. You had the same movement, natural movement that the baby had, because that's how you learn how to walk. Because your dad or your grandparents did not teach you how to walk. They don't have videotapes to teach walking to children, because walking is a very natural, innate desire that human beings have built inside of them. We need to regain our natural movement back. We need to find out what does it take to take a torso and move a torso in a very natural way and regain our natural movement back, so we can start creating the natural swing. See, if you'll see here, if I'm thinking I'm moving the torso to move the weight back, then I'm working my torso. Well, I just move my body, my body from one place to another. I moved it from here back to here. I'm going to take my body, my torso, and move it from here and move it out there. I may move it way out here. I may move it 3 inches. I may not hardly move it at all. I may just turn it. But it is about using and working our torso. Using and working the main mass of the body, the main weight of the body. That is what Natural Hitting teaches. Enjoy the rest of my website. You need to watch this again. Fine. You got any questions? Email me. I'd be glad to answer anything that I can for you.